me. I can't do this. You are wrong. I want you to remember this. No matter how long it takes you, I don't care if it takes you 2 weeks or 10 years, okay? You know the secret. This is it, right? Don't ever give up. Stay in it. Figure it out, right? You can do this, and you can make money doing this. Everybody can. If I can, you can. And that's what I'm going to go to next. So this is a picture of me back in end of 2019. Okay, so now I have 4 kids. This was after I had my 3rd baby. So I had a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and she was that little one right there. She's 5 now, okay? She was 2 months, all right? It is going into 2020, right? So my husband and I were like, okay, we really want to start our own business. What do we want to do? We found this class on wholesaling. And we decided that we were going to take this wholesaling class. And this is going to be then COVID hit in March. And my husband basically lost his job. So, okay, now we have no income and I have these babies to feed, right? I'm freaking out. So I have to make this wholesaling thing work, right? And that is what I did. And I had these babies, right? Like Sam over here. I mean, anybody who doesn't have kids in here, like, you better be working 12-hour days, all right? Because, like, I'm telling you, like, Sam works one of the hardest workers that I know. But moms and dads are also one of the hardest workers that I know, right? It's 24/7. So if I can do this when I have a 3 and a 2-year-old and a 0, right? You guys can do this. It's not rocket science, right? It is consistency and persistency, right? And never, ever, ever giving up, all right? So that's my spiel to you today, because every single person in here, I want you to know that. I want you to know that you're going to never give up and that you know the secret of the real estate investing, and this is your ticket. This is how you're going to make money. All right, so here's what we're going to talk. Oh, I already kind of talked about this. All right, so here's my timeline. So started cold calling during COVID, which was a great time to cold call, an amazing time. Everybody's home. Everybody wants to talk to you. But it did take, I was cold calling myself 5 to 6 hours a day, Monday through Friday. That was my goal. And my husband and I would kind of switch off, but I found out pretty quickly that I was the better one on the phone, and people liked talking to me, so I kind of took over that spot. You know, like Sam said, VAs, they're calling 8 hours, 5 to 6 hours a day. That is hard. There was like some blood, sweat, and tears in that. Found my first deal in June, okay? So how long did that take me? March, April, May, June, 4 months of doing that, and I made $3,000. But you know what? It might as well have been $1 million, because that's how it felt making my first $3,000. But with that consistency and that persistency, in December, I had wholesaled 23 deals and made $125,000. So I went from 0 money to $125,000 in that amount of time. Like, that's what this business can do. And you can too, right? Thank you so much. Okay, so in December 2020, this is when I buy my first flip, okay? So I'm going to talk to you guys mostly here about flipping, because here's the thing. Not everybody is Sam that can work 12 hours a day, Monday through Sunday, or these guys back here. These guys are the hardest workers, right? And kind of the same thing for me. And, you know, like Sam said, like, you have to be a really good acquisition person. Like, I'm not as good as Sam is. I'm not as good as he is. I send him my deals that I can't close. There was a deal, a lady that, I knew she was a motivated seller for the most part. Is it Linda? That was her name? I sent Sam the lead. He called her once, closed her on the line, right? So I'm not as good of a closer as Sam is. And it's kind of like, yeah, she did. It's kind of like what he said, you're born with it or you're not. Not everybody in this room is going to be a wholesaler, right, Sam? Sam says, don't do it, right? Don't do this. Don't get into wholesaling, right? You should not, okay? No, not really, but that's the thing, is that it's not for everybody. And so we did our first flip in December, right? And we sold it in March and we made $92,000. That was more than what we made on any of our, like almost as much as it took me 7 months of hours and hours and hours, and I made a much bigger profit, and I hardly did anything, right? I barely even talked to the people. I didn't go, I closed them, right? That was my deal. You do have to have the leads, right? But I made $92,000 and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. So that was what kind of started my flipping business. And since then, I was just counting today, and I think it was like 62. I've done 62 flips since December of 2020. I'm currently working on, I have 18 I'm working on right now. So not all of them have sold. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, why flipping, right? Okay, so you're wholesaling now. A lot of people raise their hands that you're wholesaling right now. I know that the Sam's team, they do flipping too, right? Like sometimes it's just gonna make sense to keep the deal and make the bigger profit. Sometimes it's gonna make sense to sell the deal, right? If you're wholesaling and you make, this is gonna be an easy sale, I'm gonna make a big profit. And sometimes the wholesalers make more than the flippers, right? I can guarantee that on Sam's team, sometimes their assignment fees are more than what the flippers make. However, there is a potential for higher profit margins, especially if you're not like a super good negotiator, right? Like to get these like deep discounts, you need to be a really good negotiator, right? And so really, you can have a higher profit margin if you're flipping, for the most part, not always. And I like this too. Long-term business growth, you have the opportunity to understand construction. You can build a really good reputation, and it helps you be able to move on to bigger projects. Like right now, we're under contract working on a multifamily unit, 190 units in Oklahoma. And so, I understand these types of things because of all the construction experience that I have walked through with all of these flips. And not only that, but it also helps for you for when you're ready to start holding your own properties. You understand more about what happens with houses, right? Like when you get a call, when you're at your kid's Christmas pageant and a pipe has burst in your flip and there's 2 inches of water in the entire house. Amazing, right? How do you conquer those types of things? You learn it, right? You just figure it out and you move on. So it's just a kind of a different mentality, flipping versus wholesaling, and they go together, right? So when you start wholesaling, but eventually you're going to want to start flipping. And this is this is me. Maybe I'm cheesy, but I love every single house that I buy. And, our business model, we stay in that, and here in Jacksonville, we stay in that like 200 to 500 range, which I think is affordable housing. I love like turning these ugly properties, and the uglier it is, the better. I'm like, oh, I love this house. It's so disgusting. And you turn it into something beautiful. It's just fun. It's fun to get creative, to kind of, I like to go in and kind of move things around, and I like the flow. My husband's actually the design person. I'm not very good at picking colors. You should see my house. There's no pictures. There's no pictures of my kids. Sorry, this is a whole nother topic. Anyways. I'm not even really good at picking my own clothes and shopping. So I'm not that part, but I know what I like to see when I'm in a house, right? I want the pantry over here. I want the fireplace over here. I want this over here, right? So I don't know. And so you're improving neighborhoods. And then I like to share the wealth, right? As a flipper, I'm paying contractors. They're making money and feeding their families. I'm paying stagers, I'm paying agents, I'm paying everybody. Just kidding. I'm paying lenders, and everyone is making money, including me. There's just something empowering and really cool about that, right? And so I'm improving neighborhoods. I'm providing, we're providing money for other families while we're doing it for ourselves. So it's just something really cool about flipping houses. But I think like the mentality is that, I don't know if I can do that, right? You watch the HGTV shows and it's really cool, but I don't know if I can do that. So this is actually a house that we did last year. See, the whole back of the house was completely like dilapidated, like it was just falling off. But this is a before and after. So this is what I wrote. It's scary, right? You're buying a house. I remember the first one I bought, I was like, oh my gosh, I own this house, right? It's different than owning your own house a little bit. You own another house that you don't live in, that you're not there. What's going to happen, right? Also, I don't really know what to do, right? What's the next step? How do I find a contractor? How do I find the money? So there's the knowledge. Maybe you don't know where to find the leads, and maybe you don't know where to find the money, right? So all these things kind of go together. So I want to talk about how you guys can start flipping, and I'm going to help you, all right? So I want to talk about my friend Nicole. So this is actually a really crazy story. My college boyfriend, okay, so we dated for several years. We actually broke up at the end of college because I was moving away to get a big job in finance in Philadelphia. And I was like, I can't deal with you. Well, you know. And this is when I live in Philly, right? So the woman that he met after he married, and I happened to see that we both randomly moved to Jacksonville, Florida. I'm like, great, I hope I don't run into this guy. Anyways, he died. He had a horrible disease, and I saw on his best friend's Facebook that he had died. But wait, before he died, I saw he was sick. So I actually reached out to his wife because they were down the street from me. So I reached out to his wife, and I'm like, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm really sorry. Is there anything that I can do? Because he was in a nursing home at 42, a couple blocks from my house, and she lives in Fernandina. Isn't this crazy? I'm like, I'm down the street. I would be more than happy to help. And I was able to help her. They needed all this stuff, and I could just run back and forth. Crazy. Anyways, he dies, and she's a pharmacist. And she's making $90,000, and they own this big, beautiful house in Fernandina. And he was making $100,000. Well, now his income is gone. And so I was like, she liked all my real estate stuff, and she's like, I really want to flip houses. I need to replace my husband's income. And so we went through every step. I taught her how to find the leads. Okay, and most of her stuff comes on market or from other agents. She's just networking. So all her leads are free leads, and she sends them to me. We underwrite them, right? I don't do it anymore. I just helped her on the first two. And the other thing, she has 3 boys at home, and they're 10, 7, and 5, right? And so it's like she's got to do something, and she doesn't have a lot of time. She's got to work, and she's got to be with her boys. And so anyways, we found the leads. I helped her get the funding, and she did her first flip, and she made $58,000 on her first flip. Now she's on her third. So I believe she made, I don't remember, she said something, but it was between $80,000 and $120,000 last year. She completely replaced her husband's income in 1 year. And she really didn't spend a whole heck of a lot of time on it. And so if that sounds like you, right? Maybe you have a job. Maybe you don't have a lot of time to do the wholesaling, to spend 12 hours a day. Sam does, and so he can sell you a deal, right? And you can flip it. That's kind of how it works. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and this is going to be, I'm showing you guys, first I've already done this on a very small scale, but I want to do it a little bit bigger. But I'm going to do what I did with Nicole, and I'm going to have a class, okay? I'm going to do a flipping class. And it's going to start February 28th with a mixer. I'm only going to take 10 people. And I am going to help whoever joins this class do their first flip, okay? It's going to be 2 days. We're going to spend a full day in the classroom, and then we're going to spend a full day out in the field. And we're going to go, I have 18 projects that I'm working on right now. So we have plenty of projects. We can talk to my contractors. And I'm also, so here's what we're going to do. You could do 2 flips in a year, even if you only made 30. Like Sam said, make a $30,000 profit on a flip. You did 2 in a year, that's $60,000. How many people make $60,000 in a year? Not that many, right? If you're only making 50 and you do 2 more flips, now you're making $110,000. And you really didn't put that much more time into it. So at this workshop, I'm going to show you what I showed Nicole, how to find free leads, how to source these deals. And it's not going to take 12 hours a day because you're going to call Sam. You're going to be like, hey, Sam, I'm looking for a deal. And he's going to sell you one, right? Maybe, maybe not. He's like, no, I'm keeping all mine. So I'm going to show you how to source deals. I'm going to show step-by-step processes on how, like all my SOPs, all my systems. We're going to do field work, like I said. And then an even better bonus is, did I mess this up? There we go. Is Jamie and Janessa are going to be there, okay? And they are going to help you learn how to build your own brand. We're going to be doing videos. You're going to walk away with your very first YouTube video at this seminar, okay? So social media is a huge way. I mean, I got all you guys here through social media. I didn't call any of you, right? You guys found me on social media, or you found Mandy and Keith or Jamie and Janessa. I didn't call anybody, right? Now, so you guys can kind of read through all that, but that is a huge, huge, huge bonus that we're going to have, and they're going to be there, and they're going to be taking lots of videos. And so they're going to be able to send you videos that you can start putting on your Instagram, right? So this isn't going to be for somebody, it's like, I don't have any money. I'm going to show you how to raise money. I am going to help you, okay? If you think that you can't do it, you can. So what did I say over here? Okay, so here's the thing. If you come to this seminar, I am going to partner with you on your first flip, okay? So how it's going to work, and everybody that comes to my seminar is going to do a flip. They're going to make money on a flip, every single person. Because I'm going to show you how to find the deal, you're going to find the lead, but I'm going to bring everything else. And you're going to come through the whole process with me and learn how to do your own so that then you can go out and do it, right? Okay, so here's the deal. This is what you're all going to get. Now, I had this free seminar, okay? So I am going to charge for this. I had this free seminar. 60 people showed up. How many people are in this room? Like 30, right? Because it was free, and free is crap, right? Like, people don't care. I thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it, right? And I love to do free stuff, and we're going to continue to do these free seminars. I'm going to do these free seminars once a quarter. I'm going to always do free, but for this, I am going to charge. But for you guys that showed up here today, okay, I'm going to charge the least. So the price for you, I'm going to be charging $29, but the price for you is going to be $21.97. And if we partner on our first flip, I am going to pay you $5,000, okay? So all you're going to do is bring me the lead, and I'm going to do everything else, and you're going to get the money, you're going to get everything, and at the end, so you pay the $21 to make $5,000, and then you're going to have the resume to be able to go on and do your next flip, okay? So that's the whole thing with because I think like the obstacles that keep people from doing it are, how am I going to find the money? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared to lose money. I am going to help you with all of that. And so, again, I hope that, even if you don't come to my seminar, that if you're wholesaling, that you do look into flipping, because they go together. So if you're a wholesaler in here and you want to start flipping, come to the seminar. If you don't want to spend 12 hours a day on the phone, make 100 calls to make $1 million. Hey, Sam, could you make 50 calls to make $500,000? Could you make 25 calls to make $250,000?
Below 50, you can.
Okay, below 50. See, got to make 50 calls a day, 2 hours of talk time, right? Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to flip houses, and because you have a full-time job or you have kids, right? So it's just something to think about. Again, I think that you have to get into flipping as if you're also wholesaling at some point. All right, so this is the QR code for you guys. So I'm only going to leave that, it's $21.97 for everybody that's in this room. I'm going to leave it open for 7 days. So you don't have to sign up now. Please just, you want to grab the QR code, because this will be open for 7 days for everybody that's in this room. And again, every single person that comes to my seminar is going to make money and they're going to get their first flip. So that's the good deal with the seminar. And now we're going to go have drinks and pizza. And if anybody needs the QR code again. Oh, yes. Also, I forgot to put this on here. Follow me on Instagram. I forgot to put my Instagram. It's at April N. Juliano, Juliano, if you're not following me. Because we're going to be doing more of these free seminars. So invite your friends so that they can come and learn the secret of real estate investing if they're not in it. Or even like Mandy was saying, maybe you don't want to wholesale. Maybe you don't want to flip. You can become a private money lender. And so we're going to be doing a lot more of these. So yeah, I think we got a pretty much, oh great, 5 minutes left. Get out of here and let's go hang out and talk more about real estate over at Rev. All right? Thank you for coming. Hi, my name is April Juliano. Right here is where you will learn all things real estate and how to juggle being a mom and entrepreneur. Don't forget to like and subscribe.